Over there is Cabezon del Oro mountain. One of my favourite places to go walking, and I've done lots of photography there, photographing from it and also photographing parts of it. But today I'm on a mission because today I want to photograph the whole mountain. So I can't be on it because there's nowhere I'll fit it in. So I've come out to the nearby town or village, which is called Busot, and I'm going to take a walk up some of the little country roads, see if I can find some paths off on some of the hills that will give me a vantage point that I can shoot the whole thing from. I don't know if it's going to work out or not. I guess we'll find out. I hope you'll enjoy the video. If you do and you're new here, don't forget to hit subscribe before you go. Now I know there is an easy location to shoot this mountain from, and it's down in the town where I've parked the car, and there is a view there, but the easiest location is not always the best one. So that's why I wanted to spend an hour or so having a wander around and just see what I could find. I've come up a hill out of the town. I've still got the view of the mountain over there, but at the moment the problem I've got is that there's another quite large kind of peak over there which is kind of getting in the way of the scene. It's blocking part of the view of the mountain, so I'm going to carry on looking along here and see if there's a better vantage point. This kind of trail that I've been following, which is not actually a trail, I don't think, it's just a reasonable sort of pathway that I can follow. It's taken me to a point where I can no longer see the mountain. In fact, I haven't been able to see the mountain for some time because there's this huge rock face behind me here blocking the scene. And I've kept on going for a while, hoping that it would bring me out somewhere where I could get another view back at the mountain. But I'm looking down that way now, which is where the trail goes, and it just goes on and on behind this big hill and around there. There's no way it's going to bring me out with a decent view of the mountain for a long time, if at all. Beautiful views out towards the coast though, but that's not what I came for. So I'm not feeling this is leading me anywhere useful. I'm going to go back and look at the last decent view that I did have. It may be that the easy option of shooting this from the town is the best one, I don't know. I turned back on that one trail I was on. I've explored another one, and this trail is now taking me back in the general direction of town. Still not convinced I've got an angle on the mountain that I like. I'm not even sure if the town's going to give me that, but I'm hoping it will. But what we have got is quite a nice view across there. We've got the old town, which has got some coloured houses. There's some trees kind of on a hill behind it. Then we've got the ruins of a castle on top of a hill next to that. We've got some quite nice kind of soft light on the scene at the moment, and that might work well because I can maybe just bring the colours up a little bit, just make it pop a little bit more. I think we'll give it a go. Okay, I've come back now into the town to that easy location I was talking around. And to be honest, I'm still not entirely convinced it's going to work. The mountain's out there, some quite nice cloud patterns, but what causes me problems with this scene is the foreground, because it's quite messy. there's lots of houses and there's power lines and pylons and all sorts of other things. Some of those things I could take out in post if I find them really distracting. It's far from perfect. Bit disappointing, really. But if we get some nice light through, we could save this. If we don't, it's going to be a mediocre image at best. Some nice light might just create something interesting. It's probably a bit too early just yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a little rest. I've done quite a lot of walking around. Have a drink, have something to eat, and then I'm going to get set up, try and get the composition to look something decent, and then wait and hope we get some light. We've not got anything much happening with the light at the moment, but I've got set up and I've got a composition in which, you know, kind of seems to work okay. I'm just running a test exposure with a circular polarizer and a 10 stop, a 1 minute exposure. I just want to see what it looks like in terms of cloud movement. And the answer is not great. It's not really doing anything. I was hoping a long exposure might give us an interesting effect, but I'm really not sure it is. What I might do is I'll just change my aperture and try a 2 minute exposure. I'm seeing a bit of light breaking through. It's putting a little bit of light out there on the mountain. Not a lot. I'm still running that 2 minute exposure, but I don't hold out a lot of hope because there's just not enough wind, there's not enough cloud movement. It's probably going to be better with a shorter exposure to retain texture, to be honest. Yeah, it's not doing anything interesting. I think we'll take the 10 stop off. Maybe leave the polarizer on in case we get some light. We are still 3/4 of an hour from sunset, but if the light breaks through the clouds over there, it might just put some light on the scene. I don't know how long that's going to last. It might not last very long, and that might be the only time that we get anything even passable as an image. I'm not holding out a lot of hope, if I'm honest, but you don't know unless you try. Okay, the sun is breaking through the clouds there, and I can see the first signs of a little bit of light hitting parts of the mountain, so that's going to pick out some detail. That might just be enough to make this scene work. I'm going to wait till it comes through a little bit more. Hopefully that light will get a bit stronger, and I'm going to take a shot and hope it works. And if it doesn't, well, I can hang on and see if we get better light later. The sun has gone completely behind the clouds over there. there's a little tiny gap in the clouds just above the mountains. It's just possible the sun might come through there just before sunset. At the moment, the scene in front of me with the mountains is just dark and not very nice. There's no light on the mountain at all, it's just flat. It'll either happen in the next 15 minutes, 20 minutes, or it won't happen at all. I'm betting it won't happen at all. I can't see that sun getting through that gap. I think it's going to be too far over. I said if it didn't happen in the next 15 minutes, it wouldn't happen. It's now 20 minutes later. The sun is now officially set, which means it's well behind those mountains and there's nothing coming through, even though there's a bit of a gap in the clouds. So that image that I shot earlier with the light on the mountain, that's going to be about the best one. Nothing else is going to happen now, and I don't know if that's going to work, but I guess you'll already have seen. If it's worked, I'll have shown it to you. If it hasn't, this video may never have seen the light of day. We can't succeed every time we go out. That's just one of the rules of the game that we play. If it has worked and if you've seen this video, I hope you've enjoyed the trip out. If you have, give it a like, share it on social media, leave me a comment. You know the routine. If you're new here and you've liked this, don't forget to hit subscribe before you go. And as always, I really appreciate you taking the time to watch. So until the next video, thank you very much. Bye.